Alright. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the very first installment of Cooking with Luke Slayman. I have to start off this episode by saying that I spent way too much time watching Jamie Oliver when I was little, dreaming of having my own cooking show. And guess what, boys? Here we are. So, today we are going to be making some very tasty baked apples. Oh, hell yeah, Lars, let's cook some apples. Let's do it. I am so ready. Bake the apples, alright. Cook them in the oven. Bake them. I'm so ready. I have everything set up extremely professionally. I have the bread. I have apples, so I actually want to try something else with that. I have the sugar and I have the nuts, so hey, I say we just get started. Let's do it. Look, because here's the thing, right? I have another kind of apple, which is an L-star, but they look not as good as the other ones I have. However, they may taste better, so I just want to try it a little bit. Hey. Look, these are the ones that I had in mind originally. They are delicious, beautifully red, and shiny. That's important too. Not sure I want to use this one though, it's a bit small. I'm going to bake them for 40 minutes, so they need to be pretty big, or they'll die. Let's get rid of this. Hey. How are you guys doing today? By the way. Everyone doing good, I hope. So I want to do 2 of these. These 2, I guess these are the biggest. And this lovely L-star. Mostly for the flavor, I'm not sure which one will taste better. Alright. Fine, just chilling in Minecraft building. Nice. I'm doing pretty good. I have to admit, a little bit outside my comfort zone here, but hey, who cares? As I said, I always wanted my own cooking show, so in my head I've already prepared a little bit. Alright, these are beautiful. There is a little bit of a not so nice thing here. Let's just get it out. There we go. Right, so the first thing we will need is butter. Let's check the recipe, how many grams I needed again. I think 60 is what it said. It is, right, so let's melt that first of all. Hey, Codex, hello. Here's one I prepared earlier. Show me the money. Let me get the butter out of the fridge. Oh, there's the cat, guys. And the whipped cream, double cream. Yep, this is Jane. She hates me. Nah, she doesn't. She's very sweet. She just doesn't like to show it. So I have a little brush that I'm going to use to brush the apples. First of all though, I need to weigh 60 grams of butter. And then I'm going to microwave it. Maybe I'll meet my other cat as well, Lizzie. But she's very shy, and I'm doing strange things. 57 grams, guys. Come on. I have the talent. Now she went and lay down underneath the table. I guess she wants to be close. So while we wait for that, I have to say, by the way, I reached 40 followers. Hoi! So actually this is also a sort of celebration. Like a special event. And just a creative something different all in once. Yeah, thank you. Really happy, by the way. I mean, affiliate is getting awfully close now, guys. I can almost taste it. It's kind of weird because at first when I started doing this, I was like, hey, I'm never gonna reach that, man. It's too far. But who knows? Who knows? Should add a follower count? Yeah, maybe. Like a follower goal of 50. The time is right. So the butter is melted, very beautiful. Now I want to get this thing. No, that's not true. I have to prepare the apples first. Look, because of course there is still a core in here. Don't take affiliate straight away. Nah, I was thinking the same thing. It is like, when do you want to do it? Not sure what else to say about that, really. Just when it feels right, I guess. Okay, but what I do want to do is I want to keep the little stalk here, because that looks cute. There's a lot of things you wouldn't be able to do anymore. Yeah, I'm a bit worried about that. Also, that is when they will start to really track your stream, see what you're doing. Okay, so what I'm doing now, by the way, is I make an incision here at the half of the apple, so that when I core it, only the bottom half will come out, while this thing will still be intact. So until about here. And there you go. But like what, Codex? What do you mean? Let me get a bin, by the way. Like the music and stuff, you mean? There we go. Now this needs to be a little bit cored further. There's still seeds in there, don't want that. There we go, that should do it. And the same with these ones. Pretty good one. Music moods. Can't run your own ads if you get a side sponsor. Now that is a thing. I've heard a lot about streamers just randomly getting ads in the middle of their stream. Twitch would own you, so to speak. Yeah, I'm a bit worried of that. Oh, the cat wants to go upstairs. I closed the door. Keep second, little creature. I am coring an apple. Go ahead. Right, 2 apples done. Oi. First time I made this was actually on holiday. They turned out really well, but it was an unfamiliar oven. The cooking time was way longer. Turned out delicious though. I also did the original recipe does the caramel sauce with apple brandy and apple cider, just apple juice. I'm going to make it with cream because I like it better. Right, that is it. So now we have nicely cored apples with no seeds in them, but they still look beautiful like apples. So now we want this thing. With a little brush. Want to do the baking tray first of all. And then we do the apples. Shit. Be careful because they get very slippery. That was more to myself than to you guys, by the way, but... There you go, that's one done. I really need to get a napkin or something because I need to do the sugar next. Alright, that's 2. Codex, I don't suppose you'd happen to know the perfect background music for this, right? Though I suppose the Bard music would work very well. Medieval restaurant and all that. Part of the reason why I picked this dish, I mean, this is really slippery. Baked apples are great. And you could see them on a medieval restaurant menu, why not? To be fair, restaurants weren't really a thing in the medieval age. What I want to do though, this is kind of annoying. When I take off a tiny slice from the bottom. Bit annoying that they are already buttered, but oh well. Just so they sit upright. There we go. Better. I'm curious how they're going to turn out. Yeah, me too. I hope nice. They should be. Right, so next 60 grams of sugar, but I'm not really gonna worry about it. Just gonna sprinkle them really. This one's not open yet. Do I have another one? I do have another one. Now really you want to make sure the sugar gets everywhere, which reminds me of one thing, I should butter the inside as well for that extra flavor. Hey Tycon, welcome. How are you doing? How are things in ye olde Russia? There we go, that should do it. Guys, I have such butterfingers right now. Not even kidding. There we go. Now we sprinkle. Butterface. Oh. Very well, you can insult me because it's you, Codex. Sprinkle. And if it gets in the baking tray, that's quite alright. Because some of the apple juice will escape and it will all just sort of reduce down into caramel. And you can mix that through the caramel sauce, or you can just serve it as a separate sauce. You got that joke? Hell yeah. There, I want to do just a little bit more sugar, but that will be... Jesus. There's a very awkward amount of sugar in here, but you can't exactly scoop it anymore. There we go. I promise I work neater when I'm not on camera. Nah, not everything. That's too much. Just a little bit more on the inside there. Although actually, there's really not a whole lot in there anymore. There we go. This'll do that. Do you know the joke? It's about women, right? There. Little bit over the top. There. And I want to make sure there's a lot of sugar like in the middle of the apples there with the stalk, because I'm going to take a tiny knob of extra butter, put it on there. And as the apple cooks, that'll all melt and drip down and sort of baste the apple as it cooks, giving extra flavor and an extra nice skin, I guess. Next step, this is done. Close-up shot. Sugar, apple, butter, very nice. Is preheat the oven, but this thing is done in like seconds. We have a very nice one. Right, there we go. It's 170 degrees Celsius. I'm not sure what that is in Fahrenheit. So this can go to the side for now. I do want to clean up a little bit because there's sugar everywhere. Won't need this, won't need this, won't need this. This one will need. Right, that should do it. $338? Am I saying that right? 338, yes. Thank you. Alright, so now we just wait, kinda. Guys, I'm going to get a cup of coffee. This is the first time, world first, that I'm going to get a cup of coffee on stream, because the machine is right there. Bog, hell yeah. Now let me see if I can find some nice music. Oh, I have an idea. Should I do the Witcher soundtrack? Or Skyrim? Skyrim is perhaps better. Isn't baked apple like a treat in Skyrim, by the way? Oh no, there's a honey nut treat. And you have the poisoned apples. Those you do have. Though if you still have a suggestion codex, they're very welcome. There we are. Let me know if anything is too loud or too soft, guys. Doesn't even register. Keep second. Gotta fix the output here. Skyrim is a good choice, yeah, right? Okay. There we go, should come in now. Nice. Now we kind of just wait. Which gives opportunity for talks. Now, there's a couple of things I still have to do. The apples need to be in the oven for 40 minutes. In the meantime, I'm going to make the garnishes, which is really simple. I'll show you guys in a second. And finally, it's about the caramel sauce. Now, it's really easy. It's really simple. Which is kind of why I chose it. Like, if you make this, you can feel really proud because it's delicious. And the caramel sauce is kind of tricky. That's sort of a technical thing. But other than that, it's just pretty much anyone can do it if you have an oven. This is also a dish that works even in a combination microwave. I'm not sure what to call it in English. It's like, yeah, pretty basic stuff. Pretty nice. This is good coffee, by the way. We have one of those machines that grinds the beans itself and then makes a fresh cup of coffee every time. Definitely worth the money. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pop these in. It's almost heated. Wait. So one final look before they go into the oven. They are going. Now, I have a timer here. Check this out. Ah, that's the wrong one. There it is. 40 minutes and that's it. Yesterday you told me you sing, right? Is it somewhere public or do you just do it for yourself? Yeah, kind of both. When I started singing, I always had the intention of becoming a singer. Like, I heard Bruce Dickinson, Pull Music Down a Quarter, will do. Like, Bruce Dickinson from Iron Maiden is my main inspiration. I saw a couple of shows by Iron Maiden and I was like, I want to do that. I'm not gonna stop until I can do that. So I took singing classes and at first I could not sing at all, like at all. But my goal still was to perform in public, so I just kept at it. And after a while, I could. But yeah, I mean, my priorities shifted. And now I don't really do it anymore. In college, I never really had the time nor the contact with other people to set up a band and or just play in public. It is something that I would be interested in doing more of in the future, though. Like, I can see myself getting into that again. But it's always a hassle if you have to work with other people. I do really need a haircut, man. Check out my... not sure what to call it, but... my hair in general is awful. I don't really play an instrument, though. I play a tiny mullet, thank you very much. That's exactly what it is, though. I checked a couple of days ago, or weeks even now, when the first opportunity for getting a haircut would be. And it was like the end of this month. And I was like, you know what, I'll just wait until things quiet down a little bit and I can just go. Don't want to have to schedule a month in advance. But yeah, I do play a tiny bit of piano, though by now probably it all... I forgot most of it. Kinda sucked, but overall. Yesterday you were finally able to go. I think you told me. That feels really good. Finally getting a haircut. After not having been able to forever. Right, so what I want to do now is just prepare the garnishes already. It can just sort of... how do you call it? Soak, I guess. It was way too long, yeah. I'm so happy all restrictions are lifting on Monday. That's really good for you. However, tiny bit salty. Because our lockdown has been extended for another couple of weeks. What was it? April 21st? Is the final one? Something like that. Right, so I just want to try 3 slices first of all. I'm not exactly sure how much I'll need. Let's take off the crust here. Now these I don't want, so plop. Sorry about that. You alright there? Yeah, he's good. I think it was somewhere in April. How's the vaccine roll going? Unsure. I mean, it's going pretty well. But the AstraZeneca one has been stopped. The government said we are not allowed to use that one anymore. Because of health issues. But I think now they're doing it again. So yeah. But I do think they're making pretty good progress on people who have pre-existing health conditions. So with any luck, yeah, they are going to continue again. I think most of the issues were now solved because of the blood clots. Yeah, exactly. But it happened in like 0.1% of cases or something. Don't quote me on that, I absolutely am not sure. Alright, for the garnishes though, what you want to do is like cut it into small cubes. As cubey as possible. This one is a little bit off, but oh well, it will shrink a little bit. Yeah, it is awesome. Like, especially for my mother. She's had leukemia a couple of years ago now. But she still had problems with the chemo that pretty much fucked her immune system. And it's awesome that things are moving forward. Yeah, it is though. I'm really looking forward to just getting my life back. What I miss most of all though, I don't really care about work and not being able to go to work. It's just visiting people without having to worry about all sorts of things and feeling like you're breaking the law just by being for a cup of coffee at someone, you know? It's kinda odd. I can't wait till I can travel sane, man. Still want to go to Spain. I mean, they are open now, but the Dutch government doesn't like it if you travel already. It is the social life you miss the most. Yeah, exactly. Oh, I think this will do, by the way. May want to get a bigger tray. What else do we have? There we go. Mucho better. Now they all fit. I'm not sure how much I need, so let's just do all of it. Right, next I want nuts. I have some pistachios here. They're not shelled yet, so I'll just spend some time shelling them. And some almonds that I can cut right now. I want to try to do them in more or less neat slivers. Sorry about that, that's very close to the microphone. But we have the internet, which will do for now. Yeah. Next year you're going to Japan for sure. Dude. I hope you can, man. It's a shame you had to cancel your trip this time. This year. For sure though, the internet has helped me a lot. At first when I was still studying, simply because I could still follow my courses, it's kind of basic stuff, but I mean, we all take the internet for granted. If it wasn't there, we'd have a serious problem. Some are fine, some are not as fine. That's nice. And later on, when I was done studying and I had absolutely nothing to do, no reason to go out the door, no reason to interact with anyone, really, aside from, of course, just social reasons. It helped a lot that I was able to, you know, keep up with streamers and friends and everything. Which is this? I think this will do. This is enough, I think. Yeah, I'll check after the pistachios if the ratios are right. So hey, let's shell some nuts, boys. These are salted, by the way. I would not necessarily recommend having pre-salted nuts. But it's only one of the two, it's not that big of a deal. Now this is a cute trick I learned. This one is hard to shell. So what you do is you get the skin from another pistachio. And you just pop it in and you twist. And ta-da, it comes off. Groundbreaking, boys. This one's empty already. No! Oh well. The cat can play with it. She's gone, by the way. She did not like us, I guess. Have you missed any traveling, Lars? In the bowl, not the table. What do you mean? I want to cut them up a little bit first. Oh, the shells, you mean? Clean it up later. I'm being judged. Now you're right. As I said, I promise I'm more organized when I'm not on stream. You would have gone to Valencia? Cool. That's in France, isn't it? Oh, this thing won't fucking come out. And I seem to remember that because... What's his name? The Borgia son, not Rodrigo. Cesare Borgia was Duke de Valentino. And with a friend I was able to go to Scheveningen. Hey, that's nice. What is there to do in Scheveningen though? I mean, there's a Musselman, I know that, but... It is Spain, alright. Fucked up, lol. How much is this? I think it's $2, yeah. I wasn't sure. Alright. Just quickly chop them up. No, I don't want them too fine. A little more. Mostly just beach, doing some small stuff, drink whatever. Yeah. I mean, that's the best thing to do with friends, let's be honest, just having a whole intricate thing can really just take away from the experience of being with people you like and love. We just wanted to do something again this year, but other countries weren't really a good option. No. Not really. Alright, so here we have a bread and nut mixture. Here before we went to Milan. Nice. I think I want to take some of the bread out actually, because I don't need this much. And this is just a better mix. I think I'll do a few more and that's fine then. The year before we went to Milan, just vibing. Nice. Milan is beautiful. I would love to go there myself. Me and my girlfriend, 2 years ago I think now, we went to Italy. But we went to the... what's the region called? Tuscany. So from a distance we could sort of like wave to Milan. Large different distance, I should say. There we go. Did you visit the castle? What was the old family called again who lived there? Not Urbino. Because that is a state on its own, or was. The Sforzas. Milan belonged to the Sforzas in the Renaissance Italy. Yeah, and that is where, if I remember correctly, Leonardo da Vinci stayed a while as well. And did a lot of his best work. Going to halve this one because it's big. Right, now I have all this melted butter left over. This isn't in the recipe, but what I want to do is get some in there. Alright, that won't work. I'll just get a spoon. Like you do croutons with olive oil, I'm gonna do sweet croutons with butter. Not too much though, or the nuts will get soggy and that's not tasty. Yeah, we went there, but not inside. Ah. I mean, impressive enough to see it from the outside though, right? Alright, I think a bit more, just a bit. There we are. The thing is, there was a queue of a few weeks. When we went to Florence, same thing. We were like, maybe we want to see inside the chapel, like the really big Duomo. Impossible to do. The bread? Nah, but the bread, if it's covered in butter, it will get crispy because the bread will fry, essentially. But soggy nuts are pretty terrible. That's a mistake I made, not the first time I made it, but the second time. I was experimenting with adding the nuts and a little bit of extra butter to the baking tray that also contains the apples. But with the apple juice and everything, the nuts just lost their firmness. It was not tasty. I mean, it was tasty, but not as tasty as it could have been. That's what I should say. Right. I was thinking, what do I need? I need the sugar now, because now we want to cover this stuff in sugar. How much exactly do I need? I think about 15 grams or so. Yeah, 15 grams, okay. So just a tablespoon, pretty much. That should do it. Sorry about that. There, and this doesn't need to be too sweet, because we'll be covering it in caramel sauce and like baking juices from the apples and everything. Just getting the flavor of the nuts and everything in there is good enough, really. Right, so I just want to spread this out, and that can join the apples for the last 15 minutes or so. What to do with a spoon, just chuck it away as is, alright. can turn the counter off. It doesn't count down when not on the window. No, I guess not. That's kind of useless. Goodbye. Oh well, 20 minutes left. That's enough time to make caramel sauce. Oi. Let me put this over here. Okay. Kinda scared now because I have to move this big camera over there. I hope you'll be able to see what I'm doing. Chances are you won't be able to, I'm sorry. Caramel is great. I love making caramel sauce. Oftentimes when I'm on holiday, I just make caramel sauce and just eat it as is. Okay. Now this make it a little bit tricky. Yes, I'm using a chair as a sort of extra thingy. Let me just do one thing though. There we go. This is the closest I can get it. And I think it works. So that's pretty cool. Alright, we'll need our sugar. This one's almost done, so I'm going to get the other one. We'll need butter and we'll need why I know kin. Strange. Double cream. How much do I need? 50 grams. Let's just weigh it now. In the pan. It's just extra. They get it quite pretty. Don't want to show them yet though. .48 grams, good enough. Ish. Gives me time to reorganize a couple of things as well. Sorry for moving the microphone next to me. Recipes is 8 to 10. Alright. So that is all I need from here for now. So what you want to do is don't put anything in there. Every time I tried this with water, I get lumps. Doesn't work for me. I will also need... I think 250 milliliters. I need only 100 milliliters. There we go. This may take a while though, you really are just melting the sugar with the heat of the fire. Wait a minute, we had another one. Yeah, how much is in here? About half. Perfect amount. It worked! What the fuck? Just moving the thing fixed. Literally, that's it. I just moved it. And it stopped working. What the fuck? Anyway, I had to take breaks there because I want a very dark caramel, but I don't want it to burn. So I have to pay attention to that. I've taken it off the heat now. To try and fix this. Can go back on now. I've also put the cream in a little bit in a pan to heat it. If you add cold cream to very hot caramel, it will just solidify immediately and you won't get the result you want. So that's nice. Alright. Now we just wait. Cream is bubbling, the last bit of the sugar still needs to melt. After that, we can do some very impressive stuff. Now let's see if we can't find a nice, not battle music. Distant Horizon sounds promising. Oi. Caramel is great, I love making it. I still have a scar on my hand actually from when it burned through my skin once. Don't think you'll be able to see it on camera, but dangerous stuff. If you do try this at home, you should be careful. But yeah, I want to get it really dark. That works very well with the apples. It is really cool if you can make it yourself. Hint hint, wink wink. I want to get a little bit of extra cream, by the way, because by now it's been reduced a little bit. And I do want the full 80 milliliters. Might do a little bit more actually, just to thin it. Now you could also, if you want, add a little bit of brandy. Apple brandy, for instance, will really emphasize the flavor of the apple. And instead of cream, you could also use apple juice. That will even, you know, sort of strengthen the flavor of the apple even more. And especially with the really dark caramel. You really should try to make it as dark as possible without burning it, of course. Because that's just bitter and disgusting. And this one is about ready, but the final granules of sugar still need to be incorporated. Still need to be melted. So take it off the heat so that it doesn't burn. And swirl it around a little bit. Don't stir it yet, because otherwise you'll get lumps. It will crystallize on whatever you're using to stir. And it won't be a nice smooth sauce. Alright, are you ready, Lars? And everyone else who's watching? Because this is the most, I'd say, impressive part, I guess. I won't say it, I won't spoil it, just watch. You can feel it stick in the corners now. You want to rub that out. give it a good whisk. Now at this point it won't crystallize yet. But you have to reduce it a tiny bit, and that is when you need to be careful. Because in the corners there along the pan, of course everything will rose up now, it will stick to the side of the pan. That is where it will start crystallizing first, and if that gets into the main batch, it will set off a sort of chain reaction where everything crystallizes. You don't want that. So I just want to bring this to the boil. Want it to rise up a little bit. Turn up the heat somewhat. Alright, and now I start to smell it, and it's done. Turn off the heat. And look at this. Yeah, it's really dark, really good. Now, we want some butter. Where's my knife? Where the hell's my knife? Found it. Alright, so you want to take about 80 grams. I'm just going to take a nice knob and stir that in. And that's how you make caramel sauce. Really easy. And it's really nice and dark. It is pretty much exactly the way I wanted it. Okay. While that melts, I want to take a quick look at my timer because I think the garnishes need to be added to the oven. Oh, yep, definitely. Right, let's do it. I can smell the apples actually. Oh, one of them exploded. Alright. There we go. Okay, what I kind of want to do now is turn up the heat actually so that the croutons get crispier. Stop. What I'll do essentially is it'll crisp up the crust of the apple a little bit more, just for that tiny little bit of extra caramelization. And it will crisp up the croutons nicely. But I think the croutons need a little bit longer than the remaining time on the apples. And I see Malivan followed me. Hey, thank you very much. I appreciate it. I hope you're enjoying the stream then. I do want to clean up a little bit, by the way. I have a couple of things here. Disgusting remains. If they even use this thing, this can go into the cupboard. Right, that's that done. Delicious. Now you could add a little bit of cornstarch to the caramel to thicken it somewhat. I'm just gonna leave it as is. Hello, how are you? I'm doing pretty cool. Pretty good. The caramel sauce turned out exactly the way I wanted it. So I'm feeling pretty nice. I'm telling you, I was trying the L-Star apple and Fuji apple just as an experiment to see which works best. The L-Star one exploded, so I'm guessing the Fuji one is the way to go. I kind of have to clean up though. I want to do the plating at the table here so that you can see what's going on better. That's the oven that's reached temperature. And the apples need 2 more minutes. Alright, let's give them that. Just gonna clean up a little bit for the final phase. Hey Blue, hello. Won't need the butter, won't need the nuts. And now that I've turned up the heat for the apples a little bit, all the sugar that was in the bottom of the pan is now bubbling and caramelizing as well. Once it comes out of the oven, I'll show you guys. This thing needs to be washed. My coffee has gone cold, how predictable. Really, a lot of people tell me that they can't cook. It's most of the time not true, they just lack confidence. And for real, cleaning up in between and making sure you're organized is like 80% of it. Gonna lurk for a bit to see what's up. Good guess. Very well, man. Thanks for the lurk. And that is the apples done. Let me take a look at them. Clean this up first though, as I said, very important. And they're very big apples, they can take a little bit longer. Except for the All-Star one, Jesus. These, and let's put this one back as well. There we are. Now I've used a glass baking tray, so if you Is it working again now? Because it seemed to be just lagging, but I guess it really wasn't working at all. Yes, good. Thanks for the feedback. I'm kind of tempted though to add a little bit of this juice from the baking tray to the caramel sauce. I think that will be really good. Or should I just keep it separate? It's funny though, if you make caramel sauce this dark, it doesn't even taste all that sweet anymore. You really just taste the sugar, the caramelization of the sugar. And if you have very good butter and double cream, you can actually taste like the quality of it, the flavor. Because the sweetness doesn't overwhelm the rest of it. Now let's see if these are crispy yet. Because you do want them crispy, of course. A little bit longer. They're starting to get there. So let me just get a couple of plates. And once these things are done, I think in about 5 minutes or so, the apples will still be warm. Also because they are in a glass baking tray, it'll retain the heat for ages, probably half an hour or so, and it'll still be hot. And we can go plate it. Hey? So I have 3 plates now here. I'm really only going to do one for you guys, but there's 3 people of us in the house. Also because only 1 apple survived. So that's the one I want to show you guys, of course. There's always a sort of... Yeah, I mean, if you want your dish to be perfect, you always have to make 1 extra, because things are going to go wrong, you know. If you have a fancy dinner or something, that's the best tip I can give you, really. Prepare, clean up in the middle, and just make an extra one. Or if nobody cares, that's easy. I mean, just eat the one that failed yourself. That's what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to eat the L-Star one, the one that really fell apart. But I guess that apple species is just a little bit too soft to really survive 40 minutes of baking, which apples do need, especially of this size, to fully cook. And there are always some that won't survive, yeah, exactly. With omelets as well. Or pancakes is a very typical example. The first one always goes wrong, right? So you can't just plan on making only 1 pancake if you want that pancake to be perfect. It doesn't work. Okay, what I want to do really quickly though is have a piss, basically. And then we can go check the croutons if they're crispy again. And if that is the case, we're on, boys. So be right back. Can the music maybe go a little bit lower? Yeah, sure. This should be better. When it was lagging just now, I turned it up a little bit. Now it's at the level it was before. I made pancakes 2 days ago and the first one wasn't the best. Yeah, exactly. Several reasons. I mean, you have to get a feel for it. The pan still needs to heat up. Things go wrong. What can I say? Be right back, guys. I just remembered. I should get 2 apple thingies. Spoons! Right, and the croutons look perfect, actually. You can't really tell, but they're beautiful. Just toss them around a little bit. I think it's actually easier to see like this. Very nice. And crunchy. Good. Oh, that's really good. Alright. Are you guys ready for the plating? Hell yeah. First, of course, we want the apple. And this will be a little bit tricky because I put it on the other side. Let's hope this works. I want to put it right in the middle. Done. This is the result. You can see the crystallization of the sugar and the caramelization of the skin. This is why it's important to have one that's a little bit more firm, because it will retain its shape and everything. Hello Aragon, how are you doing? And thank you for the compliment. I just want to show you guys the other ones, because they fell apart. Well, it happens though, whatever. Right, so now I want to get the juice. This is basically just apple juice and sugar and a little bit of butter. So we want to do that on top of it. And then a tiny bit of a drizzle around it. That's that. Shall we do the caramel sauce next? Or the croutons? It looks so good. Thank you very much. I think I'll do the croutons next. Because what I want to do, this is just a mixture of white bread and nuts. I just want to sort of sprinkle them around. Not too much, because the apple is of course the main event here. Just a little bit more on this side. There you go. And now finally, this really delicious dark caramel sauce. Let me take a quick taste now. It is somewhat bitter, but I think with the rest of it, it will be exactly right. Okay, so how much caramel sauce should we do, guys? Should we go crazy? You know what? Fuck it. I have a full spoon here. Gonna drizzle it on top of there first of all a little bit. And then in and around the rest of the garnishes. And what you could do if you want to go overboard, I'll show you guys as is first of all. Sorry about that, I hope that wasn't too loud. There you go, boys. That is a delicious and really quite simple dessert. But now if you want to go crazy, now I've showed you the like contained one, the rational one. You can completely just also give it an extra drizzle, just because. I mean, you have plenty. And this is the caramel overload one. There you go. That is pretty much it. I would serve a knife with this. Just a knife and a spoon would work best, I think. So let's get it. Hehehe. Thank you, Codex. Now let's see if it turned out alright. You know what? Nah, never mind. Fuck it. Cutting into it. Look at that. It's soft but still firm. Ice cream is a very good addition, definitely. But I don't think we have any in the freezer, so kind of stuck with this. But I have to say, just the caramel sauce and like the juices from baking are really pretty much all you need. Just want to slice this off. Gonna take a little bit of bread here. Some pistachio. And the apple. Good treat, chef. Hey, thank you very much. I appreciate the compliment all the more because you have chef in your name, of course. It does count for something. Okay, but I hope this turned out as I wanted it to. So. Yep, that's perfect. The nuts are perfectly toasted, and the salt from the pistachios works really well, actually. In fact, if you make this yourself with unsalted nuts, I would recommend just a tiny sprinkle over it, perhaps. And it is crispy. Those are the croutons. With the butter, they're perfect. I did them for 40 minutes. You'll probably want to do them a little bit... just a little bit shorter. Because this is what happened to the other apples. They fell apart. They turned into mush. That being said, it's also the species of apple, the brand. It's really good. Now I don't want to eat the whole thing. I'm just gonna take one more bite because it is really tasty. I need something to wipe my hands on. I don't want to be licking my face, licking my fingers in front of the camera. That's a bit... I'm not a Neanderthal, for Christ's sake. Alright, so I'm just gonna put this to the side. For now, I'm gonna eat it. I just want to make up the rest of the plates as well. Good Treat Chef is now following. Thank you very much, man. Appreciate it. I'm gonna do the mushy ones as well, just because. Okay, I can touch the glass now, that's good. First of all, the really mushy one, the L-Star. You know what? It's not bad. Now that the skin is sort of folded underneath, it looks kind of elegant. Gotta say. It's not bad. You want some baked apples now with caramel? Well, how long have I been streaming? 1.5 hours. It's not too long. Right, so how should we do this one? I think just the same. Get a little bit of the juice here. Whoop. Pour it on top. And around. Then we have some of these. Ooh, this one is still a bit hot. I really should stand for this. I can't really be as precise as I want to, maybe. But that's fine, whatever. There you go. These croutons are really good, though. I want some more of these. There you go. Your alerts worked. Look at you becoming a real streamer. Oh yeah, man. We're getting there, we're getting there. I did bake them in the skin, yes. You don't want to peel them. I don't think that works. And the skin is actually very tasty. It does help with the texture of the whole thing. And the caramel sauce, of course. I'm gonna do a lot at once at this time. Pour it on top and just swirl it like a spiral pretty much. This one is actually more elegant than the other one. Look at that. Look at that. It's gorgeous. And yeah, I do agree. Some vanilla ice cream or possibly cinnamon ice cream, especially if you did the cinnamon in the garnishes as well. That would be really good. Alright, so this one's done. Put this to the side as well. And do the final one, boys. Oh, this one is kind of cheating. I can just put it back into the skid. Whoop. Sort of just fold it in. Doesn't work, to be honest. Oh well. It's all buttery now. That's kind of disgusting. We want that juice. And the croutons. Nah, I won't throw it on top. You want to keep the apple the main focus. Kind of want to leave it as is, pretty much. What boss do you need to defeat in Valheim to unlock this recipe? I'm not sure. Probably the last one, because this is a dish of quality. And the last one with the caramel sauce. There you go. Gonna go a little bit more on this one because I fucking love the sauce. There you go. Worked. So there you go. And yes, actually, these are nuts and just white bread, tossed in a little bit of butter and sugar, and baked for about 10 minutes. A kernel of cream? I don't know what that is. Though ricotta or something like sweetened with caster sugar would work really well as well. A little dollop of mascarpone would work as well. Cornell ice cream. Mint ice cream. I'm not sure if that would work. I have to try it. Alright, boys. But that is it. That's all I have for you today. Except for me munching on this stuff because it's delicious. Dude. I had a pistachio just now. I really recommend you try it because this is delicious. I did not have the pistachios the last times I tried this. They really do add to it. When is the next cooking stream? I'm going to have to look at it. I was doing this thing as a sort of special because my parents aren't home right now. I still live at home. I mean, it is what it is. So now I have the whole house and the whole kitchen for myself. Kind of convenient. I'll have to look. I'll see. I would recommend you join the Discord because that is where I keep all the updates. That's where I post everything. And you can find it in the panels below. Hey. Next week, oh no. I have to come up with a recipe. I'll have to see. But in any case, I love the support you guys have given me today. It has been great, really. Italian cooking stream? Hell yeah, why not? Well, I was thinking I can do like a lasagna or something, but that has to simmer for hours, the sauce. I mean, it's nice if you can show everything and not cut out a piece in the middle. Like, that's the point of a stream, right? You witness everything. So yeah, that is why I chose this. It's simple, it's easy, everybody can cook along. And it looks good. It's really tasty. We all have a nice dessert now. Well, lunch, really. It's still early. Guess we're eating dinner a little bit later today than usual. But alright, we're all going to eat this before this all turns cold. And I'll see you guys later. I hope you had a good time. I certainly did. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye, everybody. Have a good rest of your day or night. And I love you all. Bye-bye.